Hello and welcome. My name is Mina, and in this first class of our series, we're going to take a look at this very familiar gesture or mudra, Anjali mudra, which is the seal of prayer and often associated with the word namaste or namaskar, which means as much as my essence meets or greets your essence. So we'll start by sitting comfortably and actually coming into this gesture. You can sit up on a block or a blanket. I'm sitting on a little block. And if you like, perhaps closing your eyes for a moment. And as opposed to just bringing the hands together, because that's what you do at the beginning of a yoga class, really feeling your left hand touching your right hand touching your left hand, and also both thumbs touching your sternum. Perhaps you feel your heartbeat, or perhaps you feel the breath at the tips of your fingers as it flows in and out through your nose. Perhaps you even feel the hands moving with the chest as your inhale lifts your chest gently. Then the exhale kind of allows your breath to let go. If you like, you can join me in bowing your chin in towards your fingertips in a gesture of gratitude. And throughout this practice, I invite you to really feel your hands and the power and the intention in this gesture, and exploring it within your body as opposed to trying to understand it from a cultural background or what it's supposed to mean. Beautiful. When you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes, lift the gaze, and we'll start moving here. In this class, we're going to add a little bit of mudra flow. So we'll start by pointing the fingers of our Anjali mudra forward, and then slowly downwards with the backs of the hands touching, and then brush up on our heart center, fingers pointing back up and coming back into Anjali mudra. We'll do this 2 more times. Fingertips facing forward, and then the backs of the fingers or hands touching as they brush up on your sternum, and then slowly coming back to our prayer. 1 more time, a little bit faster. Wonderful. Let's lift our prayer up towards the sky as we inhale. Exhale, bending over to the left side. Let's keep it moving. Inhale to center, feeling your hands touching, perhaps gazing up. And exhale, this time bending to the right side. 1 more time. Inhale. Your arms don't have to fully straighten. They can be bent up here. Exhale. Side stretch through the right side. Inhale. Back to center. Pray up to the sky. And then exhale. Bending up and over to the right side. Beautiful. Inhale back to center. And this time as you exhale, twisting to the left side, right hand to the outside of your thigh, left fingertips behind you for support. Inhale back to center, anticipating the touch of left and right hand. And as you exhale, over to the right side. One more time. Inhale, twisting from your core. Exhale to the left. Inhale back to center. Reach prayer up. Feel the hands. And then exhale to the right. Beautiful. Last time, coming back to center. And then press your hands into one another as you lower your hands into heart center. Wonderful. We'll move through cat-cow here in a seated position. Inhale. Keep your hands where they are. Lift your heart up into your thumb. Press your thumb up into your heart, perhaps lifting the gaze. Exhale, round. Gaze towards your belly button. Inhale. Lift your heart into your prayer. Lift the prayer up towards the sky. Exhale, round. Soften through the front body. Inhale one more time. Open, squeeze the shoulder blades. Lift your heart. And exhale, round. Beautiful. Slowly extend your spine, release the hands, and we'll move on to hands and knees. If you were sitting up on a prop, you can move the prop aside. And then take your time to really ground yourself on all fours. Spread the fingers, connecting through the palms of your hands to the earth. And today we'll move right away into the downward facing dog. So tucking your toes under, pressing your hips back, and then up into your first downward facing dog. You can walk out your first down dog, bending one knee at a time, staying soft. But hands keep on pressing into the ground. The breath continues to flow smoothly in and out through the nose. And then slowly coming into stillness. You can keep both knees soft. We want our tailbone to reach up and back so we can lengthen the spine. Inhale here. And as you exhale, step your right foot in between the hands. Keep your left knee lift up. We'll come up into a lunge. Hands into heart first. And from here, moving through our Anjali flow, fingertips pointing down, brush up on the heart, and then press your prayer up towards the sky. Keep your balance. Wonderful. Perhaps gazing up. And then sinking into your base. Feeling the hands touching one another. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, slowly reaching your prayer down. Ground your hands and step back to a downward facing dog. Right away, other side. Inhale here to prepare. Exhale, step your left foot between the hands. Keep your right knee lifted. Find your balance. Bring your hands into heart as you rise. Finding your Anjali flow, brushing up on your heart. And then bring the palms together and lift your hands up towards the sky. You can always gaze forward and bend your elbows. But keep on pressing your hands into one another and offering it up. One more deep breath. One more inhale here to reach back through your right heel. And then exhale slowly. Deliberately lower your hands, touch the ground, and step back to downward facing dog. Next, inhale right forward into a plank. Strong core. And then exhale lower in your own way, or knees, chest, and chin. For our first back bend, let's come into Sphinx, or variation of Sphinx. Elbows underneath the shoulders, but hands together this time in Anjali Mudra. Let's activate the legs. Press all 10 toes into the earth. Lift your kneecaps. Press your pubic bone into the ground to broaden your lower back. And then pull your prayer back into your heart without moving the elbows anywhere to open through the heart. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Keep on melting through the back of the heart. Wonderful. Slowly lower hands underneath your shoulders and press back to your downward facing dog. Wonderful. Inhale in down dog, or perhaps 3-legged down dog, lifting our right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, gaze forward, step your right foot through, lower left knee. When you're ready, rise, hands into heart to begin with. Again, Anjali flow, brush up on your heart, and then reach the prayer up towards the sky. And then sink into your crescent lunge. One more time, inhaling here, reconnecting to that feeling in the palms of your hands. And then as you exhale, let's twist to the right side, left elbow to the outside of your right thigh. Beautiful. And then press your hands into one another. Every inhale, lengthening through the spine. Every exhale, leading with your right shoulder, lift up, back, and down to twist a little bit deeper into the shape. Perhaps your thumbs are touching your breastbone. Inhale, come back up, reach your hands up towards the sky, offering it up. And as you exhale, deliberately lowering the hands, touching the ground, and step back to downward facing dog. Other side, inhaling in down dog or 3-legged downward facing dog, lifting the left leg this time. Exhale, gaze forward and step it through between the hands, lower your right knee. When you're ready, coming up, Anjali mudra in front of your heart. Anjali flow, brushing up on the heart. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, sink into the shape. One more inhale, lengthen the shape, create space between the vertebrae. And as you exhale, twist into that space that you just created. Right elbow to the outside of your left thigh, twisting to the left side. Press the hands into one another. Every inhale become longer. You can even press into your right foot like you're trying to press your crown of the head up towards the sky. And as you exhale, twist a little bit deeper from your belly, from your shoulders. Wonderful. Inhale. Keep your hands together as you reach your hands up towards the sky. And then exhale, slowly lowering the prayer, hands down to the ground. Step back, downward facing dog. Wonderful. Inhale, right forward to a plank position. Broad back. Exhale, lower in one piece or knees, chest and chin. Inhale, one more time, come through into that Sphinx variation. Elbows underneath your shoulders. Hands pressing into the earth in a prayer. Activating the legs. Pressing your pubic bone into the earth. Squeezing the shoulder blades together. And then press your hands so much into the earth that perhaps your elbows lift to come into a variation of cobra. Hands are still pressing into one another. And there's still this deliberateness, this intention in your hands. As you lower, try to inch your breastbone a little bit further forward. Lower your elbows, and then stack your hands and rest your forehead for a moment. Shake your hips side to side. Beautiful. From here, place your hands underneath your shoulders and press back to a downward facing dog. Beautiful. Today we're going to walk the hands to the feet to come into a forward fold. You can widen the feet hip width or keep them together if you practice with your feet together. Soft forward fold, bend your knees. Allow your head to hang. If you like, you can shake side to side. Nice. And let's roll all the way up from here. Bend your knees even further. Reach your tailbone down towards the sky and then roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Soft practice. Once you arrived in standing, you can roll your shoulders up, back and down to come into your Tadasana for a moment. Wonderful. Let's widen the feet to the width of the mat, toes pointing out. We're going to come into Malasana. So if you know you need blocks to sit on, you can get them or place a blanket underneath your heels so you don't have to flex your feet so much. I'm going to bring our hands into the heart. And from here, go through our Anjali flow. And then reach your prayer up towards the sky. Feet are active, pressing into the ground so you can reach your prayer up a little bit higher. And then as you exhale, both hands or elbows and knees bend at the same time to slowly come into a squat. Once you're there, your elbows can press into your knees into your hands. Lift your heart up towards your thumbs. Breathing here for a moment. Keep on remembering what you associate this shape with. Feeling the power of one hand pressing into one another. Beautiful. From here, replace your hands down to the ground. Lift your hips up, feet parallel. And then walk your hands forward. You can always bend your knees to come back into a downward facing dog. Nice. Perhaps you need to walk your feet in a little bit. Inhale, right forward to a plank. And then slowly lower the knees down. And coming into a child's pose. With the variation of the hands today that the hands are behind the head in a prayer. And breathe here for a moment. Just feeling what it feels like when the prayer is behind you. Still acutely aware of your hands touching one another. In child's pose, which is already a very humbling position. Great, slowly release your hands, lift your gaze, and then slowly walk your hands to your knees, and we're going to sit on our hips. Move your hips forward so we can roll all the way onto our backs. Hands into heart. Round and round and round. So you're all the way down. You can release your hands and replace your feet so that they're hip width distance apart and not too far away from your buttocks. From here, we're going to replace our hands into Anjali Mudra. And we'll go into a dynamic bridge, but we'll use our hands as well. So, reaching your fingertips down towards your knees. In a prayer. Inhale, press your feet into the ground. Lift the hips up as you reach your hands above the head as well. You can always bend your elbows. Exhale. Hips and hands lower at the same time. A few more times. Inhale, lift your hips up towards the sky. Arms come up and above, perhaps all the way touching the earth above you. And exhale, sinking hips and hands. Wonderful. 2 more. Inhale, press into the feet, lifting the hips and the arms. And exhale, lower. Let's do this one more time. Riding the breath. Stay aware of your hands touching one another. Beautiful. And then release your hands. Bring both knees into the chest. Let's take a gentle twist over to the left side. Both knees over to the left. Right arm reaching out, perhaps gazing to your right. And then inhale, back to center. Okay. Bring both knees into the chest. From here, come back into your prayer with your hands. And we're going to twist the knees over to the right side, keeping the prayer into center. Inhale, knees back into center. Exhale, knees go over to the left side. Prayer stays in center. Using our core a little bit here as we twist. Inhale, back to center. Really curl and round. 2 more. Knees go over to the right. Hands in center. Exhale, back to the middle. Round your spine. Inhale, knees over to the left. Exhale, knees into center. Wonderful. Hug your knees into the chest. One more time, perhaps. Curl, round, gaze towards your belly. And then exhale. You can slowly come into Shavasana. Palms facing up. Feet extended. And if you like, you can breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. And if you're not already, you can close your eyes. And allow your breath to be taken over by your body. Release your hands. They do a lot of active feeling, pressing, sensing. You can let them go as well. And I'll leave you in silence for a moment so you can integrate everything we just did. And when you're ready, you can slowly come back to your breath. Deepen the breath, perhaps. And then wiggle your toes, wrists, and ankles. If you like, you can extend your arms up above your head and reach out through the heels to become super long. And before you bend your knees and curl up on one side in a fetal position. And then drop your body weight into the earth one more time here, leaving everything you don't need to take throughout the day here on the mat. And then gently pressing up with a soft gaze or eyes closed. Find a comfortable seat one more time. And bring your hands together in front of the heart like we did so many times throughout this class. And then feeling into the shape one more time. And perhaps the meaning has changed for you through this practice. Perhaps your hands feel more awake. And then let's go through our Anjali flow one last time. Fingertips forward, down, brushing up on the head, heart. And then bring your hands up to your third eye. And if you like, you can join me in bowing down towards the floor. When you're ready, lifting up. Thank you very much for sharing this practice. Namaste.